Good morning, students. I'm your computer teacher, and today in our class we are going to see chapter number 3, that is computer memory. Okay, in our last class we have seen what is computer memory and types of computer memory. In that, we have seen what is primary memory, and in primary memory there are two other types, that are ROM and RAM. Okay, so in this two division of primary memory, ROM we already learned. Now we will see what is RAM. Okay, so open page number 20 of your textbook and let's begin the class. RAM. Okay, as you can see, RAM stands for random access memory. Okay, it stores data and instructions used by the CPU to perform various tasks. RAM is a read slash write memory. Okay, read and write memory. That means when we talk about random access memory, RAM stands for random access memory, and it is again it is used to store data and instruction. Okay, whatever data and instruction are used by the CPU to perform various tasks, whatever work CPU gets, like data or instructions, that are being stored in RAM. Okay, RAM is a read and write memory. You can read also as well as you can write also in it. Then next is information can be, see here, information can be returned to it and read from it at very fast speed. Okay, we can read the what you can say, data or instructions very fast. Okay, and the information can be returned to it. You can give back the information also in RAM. Okay, now the next is, see, RAM stores information only as long as the computer is working. Okay, once the computer is shut down, the information stored in RAM is lost. Thus, RAM is volatile memory. So now, as you know that in RAM we can store data and instructions, but when suddenly power fluctuation is there or some other thing is there, when we shut down our computer system, what happens? Whatever data or information we have stored in RAM will be lost. So for that reason, RAM is also called a volatile memory. Okay, now RAM is measured in megabyte. Okay, what is the short form of megabyte? MB, or gigabyte, that is CB. The size at RAM used in the device usually varies from 512 MB to 64 GB. The amount of RAM installed in a computer affects the number and size of programs that can run simultaneously. Some common types of RAM are SRAM, then DRAM, SDRAM, DDR-RAM, and GDDR-RAM. Okay, so these are the how RAM is measured. RAM is measured in megabyte and in gigabytes. Okay, then as I told you, the size of the RAM varies from 512 megabytes to 64 gigabytes. Okay, and why RAM is useful? As I told you, the size of the RAM depends on the computer, and the storage capacity of it also depends on the size of the RAM. Okay, so whatever program we want to run, that needs enough space, so RAM is used in it, and here are some types. Now we will see here, RAM can store only a small amount of information, Moreover, due to its volatile nature, RAM cannot be used for storing important data for long periods of time. Hence, you need some device in to store data permanently from which it can be retrieved when required. So as I told you, we cannot store much data in RAM because first of all, it has a volatile nature, isn't it? And it stores only a small amount of information. So if it is a volatile memory, we cannot store much amount of data in it. So what happens? We have to get one more storage device, okay, which can store our store our information or data permanently. Okay, now in RAM, now this ROM and RAM is complete, so our primary memory is complete now. As two types were there, primary and secondary memory, so we have completed our primary memory. Now we'll go through the secondary memory. Okay, see here, secondary memory. Secondary memory is also known as external memory or auxiliary memory. It allows permanent storage of large quantities of data. Now, secondary memory is not directly accessible by the CPU and is non-volatile. The capacity of secondary memory is high, usually measured in gigabyte or terabytes. Okay, now what happens is when we talk about secondary memory is also called an external memory. External memory means which we can uh, access from outside the hardware of the computer. That is also hardware, but what happens is it's an external thing which has to be attached to CPU. Okay, and as secondary memory is not accessible by the CPU, means directly inside the system we cannot access it, so we are entering it from outside. And due to this reason, what happens, its secondary memory is called a non-volatile because it stores the data permanently. Okay, and the amount of information which you can store in it, okay, the size of data which you can store is measured in gigabytes and terabytes, whereas in RAM, what happened in primary memory, we are not able to get much of storage capacity. Okay, so in the secondary memory, again it is being divided in second storage devices. Okay, so here we'll see secondary storage devices. What are they? Secondary storage devices are used to store information that needs to be accessed frequently. They use magnetic or optical technology to store information. Let us know about some common secondary storage devices. Now, there are some secondary storage devices. What are they? These storage devices also store information, okay, that you can access, means when you want it, when you need it, you can access it. Okay, and they use optical technology or magnetic technology to store data. So the first one here is hard disk. Okay, so a hard disk, see here, a hard disk is the main storage device in a computer. It is placed inside the CPU box. It is a circular thin metallic disk coated with magnetic material and encased in a metallic box. A hard disk comes in different storage capacities, ranking between 500 GB to 10 terabyte. And now what happens is, um, as I told you, this is a hard disk. You can see here is a hard disk. Okay, you can see this one is in circular form, isn't it? And it is placed inside the CPU, means we can install it in CPU. Okay, and It is a metallic disc which is coated with magnet materials. Magnets are there, and it is this box is made up of magnetic boxes there. Okay, now this hard disk comes in different storage capacities. Means as per your requirement, this hard disk can be used. Means what is the type of size of information which you are in need of, like that it ranges from 500 500 GB to 500 GB, that is gigabyte, to 10 TB, that is terabyte. Okay, so next one is a portable hard disk is another storage device. It can be connected externally to a computer and carried anywhere. Okay, now you can see this one is a portable hard disk. Okay, now this portable hard disk is also a storage device. And why it is portable? Because you can carry it wherever you want. Okay, and you can connect it externally in the sense outside the CPU you have to connect it. But what about this hard disk? You cannot carry it. Okay, and it has to be placed inside the CPU box. Understood? Now we'll see the next one, that is a solid state disk. Okay, a solid state disk is similar to a hard disk but has no moving parts in it. Its, re- it, its read and write speed is much faster than a normal hard disk. It can either be fixed inside the CPU box or connected externally. Now you can see this one is a solid state disk. Okay, and it is also similar to hard disk. Okay, but has no moving parts in it. It does not have any moving part, as magnetic strips are there, so no moving part is that. Then you can read write whatever you want, and its speed is very good, and as compared to normal hard disk. And it can be if you want to carry it from one place to another, you can carry it. If you want to fix it inside the CPU, you can fix it. You can connect it externally also. Now the next one is compact disk, that is CD. Okay, so a compact disk can store small amount of data. It is commonly used to store movies, songs or documents. The storage capacity of a CD is usually 700 MB. Okay, so now compact disk is also a type of storage device, and it can store only a small amount of data in it. Now it is mostly used for songs, movies, documents. That means small amount of data. If you have like 700 MB, it can it has this capacity of storing. Okay, so students will meet in our next class. Thank you.